And welcome, everyone. It is time for Full Press Hockey Weekly. Mike Straw, Chris Wassel, Jim Biringer here, as always. Got to move these two around, though, because Chris had to duck out and come back in. But we got a new look. It's fun. This is part one of the new look, version 1. V1. Okay, we'll make some things better as we go.
Yo, version 1.
But we have a lot of hockey. A lot of hockey to talk about before we get into that. Chris, Jim, how you guys doing on this great day? It's a great evening, great night.
I'm doing good. Got hockey on. Can't wait for later, so it should be good.
It's like there's something going on later, and I don't know what. Chris, what about you? How are you? Chris, you are muted, buddy. His microphone is now working, but while we wait for him to get sorted out, we'll have some fun here. We'll pantomime and see what he's doing. If you didn't notice, I moved my office around. Now I got a better background. You don't see a bunch of just, guitars on the wall and messy shelves. You got my wall. Granted, you see the racing, but I got the pictures behind. It's a good. Now do we have Chris?
Hello.
It was not me. It didn't say you were muted on my end, which was really funny. It never kicked back after the intro.
Good job.
That turns everything off.
Yeah. The kicker didn't kick.
How are you, Chris?
I'm great. I mean, for the next 14 and a half hours, we have nothing but hockey, guys.
Yeah, I ain't going to be that. I'm not going to be awake that much.
Wait.
I will not be up all night. 7 a.m. or whatever time my son jumps into our bed and lays on me like a log, comes quick.
Yep.
So I'm not going to do that. But we have a lot to get to tonight. Before we do that, make sure you are subscribed to us on youtube.com, Full Press Coverage. We are trying to grow that for the Full Press Network. Twitch.tv/Full Press Coverage. Facebook.com/Full Press NHL. Twitter.com/Full Press NHL. And wherever, you can see our handles in the screen now. People kept saying, where is your names all the time? We can't see them. And there we go. It's part of the upgrade here. Though I got to not have that happen, when I put comments on the screen. But, that'll solve as it goes. Jack Eichel is officially back on Wednesday. Montreal in a complete free fall. The Flames taking advantage of that. And then we'll round out like we did last week. USA, Canada, Olympic hockey. And it's a much different conversation now than what we had last week. But we're going to start with Jack being back in Vegas as of tomorrow. He got rid of the red contact, no contact jersey last week. And a week later, he is back for Vegas. And there's a lot to talk about with this, whether the salary cap or whatever. Chris, going to start with you. How big is this? It kind of goes without saying how big, but put into words how big his debut and return is for Vegas and their Stanley Cup hopes.
Well, look, I mean, right now the happiest man in Vegas is probably Max Pacioretty because he got tired of dragging Mark Stone and his like 3/4 of a back around the ice. So, he's going to have somebody that can pass him the puck. And the only interesting thing I think is going to be in all this, who's going to shoot more, Jack Eichel or Max Pacioretty? That's going to be a fun shot prop each night, just to see who's going to wind up at more shots. And then Evgeny Dadonov's going to be like the third wheel, and nobody's going to really care. He might just score a bunch just because nobody's going to pay attention to him. They're going to be too mesmerized. But this is much needed given what happened today, obviously. With Vegas, with the news that Robin Lehner is broken, literally,
and not just in shootouts this time.
No, this is bad, guys. I mean, surgery is a distinct possibility. He has a torn labrum, which, just ouch. Anybody who's suffered anything close to that caliber of injury knows the insane amount of pain that you go through just to do basic things. They were going to actually try and just trot him out there for a couple of weeks just to bide their time. And it seems like that is becoming less and less of a likelihood. So they traded one problem. They put Mark Stone on LTIR. So they alleviated their cap problem. Alec Martinez is coming back anytime now. He's getting closer and closer. And now they need a goaltender. So go figure. You got your franchise center, and now you need a goalie.
Yeah, and that's and if only there was a goaltender out there. Before we continue on Jack Eichel,
the guy.
There's this goaltender. I don't know. He's like
the guy who was the guy.
He's like the guy who was there.
Yeah, he's like a plant. He's like a plant, Jim. I can't put my finger on it. My tongue. It's at the tip of my tongue.
You mean
a plant? Is he the cactus? No.
No.
I mean, it's kind of a cactus is a type of the.
Was it his name, the flower?
I think so, and I think they traded him to Chicago like idiots.
No.
I mean, it's kind of funny, even though Kelly McCrimmon has come out and flatly denied that there's no reunion between Marc-Andre Fleury and the Vegas Golden Knights, which I have my doubts because I think Fleury would be an excellent pickup.
Do you think he'd want to go back though after the way things kind of ended?
I think personally, he would want to go back because
just to get out of Chicago.
Just to get out of Chicago, and B, to go prove Pete DeBoer wrong that he can be a guy. That he can be the guy, and Vegas made the wrong choice. Because let's realize this: the reason why Robin Leonard got hurt, is they don't trust their goaltender Laurent Brossoit because they signed him as a free agent goalie, but have yet to play him that much. But yeah, he played more in Winnipeg and did a really good job with lesser defense. And back to Connor Hellenbach. Kind of weird, isn't it? So they signed him for that reason, but haven't played him. And then again, they signed the guy who just got hurt to a 5-year contract at $5 million. Didn't make sense in the beginning of all this. They chose the wrong guy, who's now in Chicago. Personally, I think Fleury was the guy and is the guy. Now, as far as this whole Eichel stuff and this cap and all this stuff, look,
and that's the big thing. Yeah, the cap. That's the big thing we're gonna get into. So yeah, go.
Cappy. Well, guess what? Everybody's upset. World's on fire. Vegas can't do this, all this stuff. Guess what, folks? They just did. Tampa did it. Chicago did it. Everybody's going to do it.
I hate that. Well, they can't do this. No, they can do this. They've done it. And they're only doing what the league is allowing them to do. I had the same thought with Tampa Bay. If they're going to be able to do it, good on them for taking advantage of a flawed system. It's the system the league has in place and the CBA has in place. Like, good on them for taking advantage of it. And if you were a team that hasn't taken advantage of it, well, sucks to suck, I guess.
Or tried to take advantage of it and failed. Toronto last year didn't do a very good job of it. Look, I think Eichel's going to make a difference for this team when he touches the ice against Colorado on Wednesday night. It's going to be unbelievable to see him back out there because we know Buffalo screwed this up from the beginning. But don't forget about Chandler Stevenson when he comes back too. They have.
I think people are forgetting that. Yeah, I think people are forgetting just how much of a void has been left down the middle of Vegas.
Right, and Stevenson was having a great year playing number one center up there with Pacioretty and Stone and all those guys. Look, is it a flawed system? Yeah. Do I personally think that it's created a false sense of parity in this league? Absolutely. Do I personally think they had a softer cap with a luxury tax? That would solve a lot of this problem right now because teams would go over.
I'd have no problem with if they went to an NBA style of things.
Me either. I would have zero problem with that because then everybody could do it. People are paying a tax on it. It's going to HRR, all this stuff.
And fair, everybody can do it now.
Yeah, but no one, but it's like it's the biggest thing in the world if teams take advantage of it. But
it's the biggest thing in the world if it's not your team taking advantage of it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the problem is you have these fans and media like losing it if it's not their team doing it. You never saw any fan of Tampa or any writer from Tampa complaining about it last year.
No.
And you won't see fans of the Golden Knights doing it this year. It's just not going to happen.
Exactly. And I don't complain about it because you know what? It's a rule. Hey, you found a way to get around it. All right.
Again,
more power.
You take advantage of it. Exactly. More power to you. Good for you. You know what? It's obviously the news of Eichel's return hit a soft spot, kind of twisted the knife a bit here in Buffalo. And it's amazing how he's back in basically the time from his surgery to now, the time that an off season generally is.
Funny, isn't it?
Yes. But what it does is solidifies, at least in my opinion, and what he said in his Elliot Friedman interview. He wasn't coming back whether he was injured or not. If the team was going to be rebuilding again, he was not going to want to be a part of it. No blame whatsoever.
I can't blame him.
So all that says to me is, yeah, it's a case of he wasn't going to be back. So the Sabres are like, you know what? Fine. I guarantee you if he said, I want to be a part of this and see this through, the Sabres would have been more open. Without being in that room and sitting with Kevin Adams and management. I think if he wanted to be a part of what the Sabres were going to ultimately try and build again, they would have let him have what he wanted. But knowing he wasn't going to be there, why let him have a first visitor? And that's another team's problem to worry about. So hopefully now we can put this all to rest. It won't, especially when he wins the Stanley Cup in Vegas within the next few years, because it's going to be hilarious when it does happen. But I mean,
they better solve that goaltending problem first, then.
And a coach. They're going to need a coach.
If only they had,
because DeBoer's shelf life is about like 1 to 2 years. We figure.
If
that. Yeah, if you go by the DeBoer pattern.
You're talking about coaches. If only they didn't get rid of.
Oh yeah,
the coach.
Oh, he couldn't get it done either.
Hold on, you shush. The coach who was going to be the 2022 Jack Adams winner, Gerard Gallant. See, it all comes back literally full circle every time. Every week I'm going to do it.
Wait, how does the coach of the year lose to a shorthanded Boston team? Tell me this.
Are you really going to discredit getting an expansion team to the Stanley Cup final right now?
That was no expansion team. That was
I'm sorry. Hold on. That was no expansion team. I'm pretty sure the year before they didn't have a team.
That was the NHL making sure Vegas.
Are you guys judging the fact that they took advantage? Unlike,
wait. We can turn this, Jim, instantly. Watch this. Real simple. Right. We can show you a real expansion team this year, and he's coached by your favorite coach.
I was literally about to make this transition. You mean they took advantage of the rules the league set up for them to put a competitive team on the ice? Unlike that joke of an organization, they haven't even been in the league a year, and I am already considering them like joke level, like with Arizona and Buffalo.
Well, I mean, considering what happened with Marissa and that whole debacle with the Seattle Times,
dude, I don't even. Good for her, Marissa Jemmy, getting with the hockey news. That was a joke. And they won't even talk about it. And that's
here is what is said happened. Supposedly. Now, like I said, I can only go into so many details because I promised people that I wouldn't. Basically, there was some sort of fabricated tweet/story of sorts going around Twitter. Basically, it was a load of horse crap. It was just a way to basically get rid of her before her tenure.
Yeah,
or
that's
equivalent
exactly. She was
a probationary period.
Yeah, she was just at the end of her probation period. You saw, there's no coincidence that the tweet she put out about the player from the ECHL being held accountable for what he did gave them like, oh, well, we don't want this kind of controversy, even though she was fully within her rights to say what she said. And all she did was make, we could do a whole nother show, and I'd want to talk to her.
Well, I mean, you made joke comparison to Arizona. That stuff is joke level. And first of all, if she was really on a probationary period, why would they have her move out there to cover the team? You could just do it easily, remotely do it on a probationary period.
Yeah, where you just yeah. I mean, you got to be there at practices and stuff like that when you're working for a major daily. But again, without her here, I don't want to talk too much on
it.
Right, the way is to be respectful.
Yeah, that organization, not that withstanding, has already fallen to joke level with Arizona and Buffalo, in my opinion, solely because of, one, the worst coach in all of hockey at any major level. I don't care. Every AHL coach is better than him. Every high school coach in North America is better than him. Dave Hextall is a terrible, terrible coach. And Ron Francis is, you know the phrase, a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while, or broken clocks right twice a day?
Yeah.
He is the antithesis of that. Nothing he will ever do is right because he's a joke. That organization's a joke, but that's not the topic. It's Jack Eichel, but he comes back. Vegas is going to be instant must-watch TV without without a doubt. Some of the comments on YouTube.
That's so good.
Imagine Ricky's rink in his trailer in Trailer Park Boys. That's exactly what it is. There was a picture of it. Or there was the meme with Homer Simpson and Milhouse's dad. I don't remember his name. He's like, "Do you have an arena at a university?" And then Homer's like, "No, I have an arena with fans." And it made me laugh. And Brandon, speaking of Arizona, the arena preview post was so sad. It was embarrassing. That is absolutely embarrassing. And, the NHL is a joke for letting that happen. Speaking of more jokes, we got a lot of them. And the next joke on this list is the Montreal Canadiens and that free fall and what it is. The Canadiens losers of 10 straight. I don't want to hear, they're winless in 10 games because overtime it's a losing streak.
Lost. I hate that. I hate that when you say you're winless.
That's why, when the Sabres lost 18 in a row last year, everybody's like, "Oh, well, they use a winless streak, not a losing streak." I don't know. Did they end up with a W? Every losing streak's a winless streak, you clown.
Yeah.
Montreal, absolute joke of an organization. They mercy killed their coach, brought in Martin St. Louis. Feel bad for him that's his first head coaching gig. Because it probably won't be his last, and there's no way I'd stay if I'm a potential coach next year. I would not stay after that. Not one single player on Montreal looks, and we've talked about Cole Caulfield and him disappearing, Suzuki disappearing. They dumped Tyler Toffoli, and we'll get into that next. But not a single player looks like they want to be on that ice. They just look like they're going through the motions.
I will say, the last 3 games under St. Louis have looked a lot better than any game under Ducharme this year.
There's some semblance of a plan.
That's such a low bar, though. That's like saying,
gotta start somewhere.
I mean, the bar is at our ankles. Let's be honest. I mean,
yes, we need James Cameron to come raise it.
I mean, it's just they're a bad hockey team. Look, but the fact of the matter is that Caulfield's getting his game under St. Louis. He had goals in 2 of 3 games under St. Louis now.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's not bad. I mean, he's playing with Suzuki again. He's starting to put the wheels to the fire. Look, everybody knew what was going to happen when Gordon came in and Hughes came in. You're going to see similar development and similar plan to what he did with the Rangers before all those shenanigans started down in the big city. But at least they're being competitive now because, to be honest, who was it? It was Petrie or Sherrod at the beginning of the year, November, said that Ducharme lost the room, didn't know what he was doing, all that kind of stuff. That's when the coaching change. They should have made the coaching change then instead of giving him an extension.
I get you made it to the final last year, but whatever. Once a player comes out publicly, once a player comes out publicly, that's the death knell of the coach.
Seriously, it is.
They looked so like they'd rather play for Seattle and Dave Hextall, and that's bad.
That is bad,
dude. I can't get him out of my head. He literally holds a place in my head rent free because of how bad he is. I just don't know. Like, is this a situation in Montreal? And Montreal likes to parade around this idea that they're this class act organization. They're still a top tier organization. I'm sorry. There's more than 6 teams in the NHL. You haven't been a class act since then. You haven't been like the pinnacle. And in Canada, you're not even 2. As far as like
for about
level organizations.
For summer, they were.
Yeah.
And that was it.
But you have like in Canada, to me, ranking. This is what I want to do one day. You know what? We'll do it real quick. Actually, we'll do it. We'll do it after at the end of the next topic because we're still in Canada for the Flames.
Still flaming.
So you're not even in the top 2, or in my opinion, 3 of Canadian franchises when it comes to current prestige and current outlook and anything like that. So Montreal, like if St. Louis wants to be the guy and who wants to be the coach to lead this, then my thoughts and prayers.
Well, funny thing is, he's the one that brought up the idea of interim. So they wanted him to sign a long-term contract, like a contract. He said no, interim
so
basis.
Dumb.
Interim basis. He said interim basis. Let's see what we can do. All that stuff. Look, did anybody see Carey Price going out after what happened last year? No. Shea Weber, we all knew. Even guys on other teams were saying how this guy was fighting through all these injuries.
Yeah, but even losing just those 2, again, goaltender. That's why I'm always for paying good goaltenders. I'm like in the opposite of the normal camp because you look at a Carey Price. But
I wouldn't pay him that much money, but I agree.
I'm not against the money. I'm against term. That's how I am. Like, I don't think any contract
the term
should
was
go
rough
over.
with him no matter what.
I don't think any contract should go. I don't care who the player is because I like chaos. I don't think any contract should go over 4 years. That's just my personal opinion because I like having this chaotic thing every handful of years and things like that. Money I could care less about because for the most part hasn't been because of pandemic and everything. Salary cap goes up and things like that. And you got to think with the rights finally in the new rights deals, the NHL salary cap's ultimately going to go up over the next couple years.
Well, with jersey ads and helmet ads and all that stuff.
Things are going to go up. So I'm not against that. It's just who'd have thought? And it's not like they lost world beater players.
No.
Danault was not your make or break player. He had a really great postseason, but losing him shouldn't have caused this. You had players that you expected to take the next step in Suzuki, in Cole Caulfield, and in Tyler Toffoli. You expected him to be a leader on that team, and all of them disappeared. And it's because, like you mentioned, no one wanted to play for him. They didn't care. I mean, look, Toffoli, to me, we'll get into it when we talk about the trade, but that's a guy who wanted to be there. I think he wanted to be part of the solution and not – I don't think he was part of the problem there. I think there were other issues. Just think it was an issue with the coach rather than the player in that case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know what's worse about this whole thing, and people are talking about Montreal, and I don't mean to cut you off, but they have this. It's disgusting. 8 players on IR. They have Shea Weber on long-term IR. They currently have the least amount of salary cap available in the league.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're that squeezed.
The league. They can't do anything right now.
No.
And no team is going to want to help them.
No.
Right.
There's certain organizations where no teams, by the way, they don't have their first round pick this year.
Yeah.
They traded that away in September
now they do.
Well, they have a first round pick.
Yes. But it's not theirs.
No, it is not theirs. No, they don't have a first round pick.
Like
they
get to.
Let's explain this one now. They technically do.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, because of the trade yesterday, they have what went back was a protected pick for the next season.
Well, I know they have a first round pick. They don't have their original pick is what I'm getting at.
Oh, but they actually have a total of
they have 2 first-round picks, yeah. But
one
when
from
you
Carolina and one from and you have to look at it that way. I mean,
but that's the thing. I get you got to look at it that way. One from Carolina, one from Calgary, playoff teams. Their pick is likely a top 3,
20 to 30 range.
Right.
Yes, their pick by the end of the season, at the way that things have been going, to me is a top 3 pick. And it currently sits in Arizona, who might end up with 2 top 3 picks. And if you want a chance to turn that around, I don't care about joke of a franchise. I mean, wherever they go, that fan base is going to get 2 top 3 talents.
Yeah, they are.
If they can draft right.
Yeah, but Chris, I got to ask you.
They're going to draft right before they relocate. They got to hype up the new city.
That's true.
that is going to be the ultimate mystery of mysteries. Like, what the heck winds up happening? Because look, I mean, we could all be sitting here, and by some miracle of God, the Tempe Council actually approves their plan.
Would that be the dumb? I can't wait till that day comes if that happens for this show.
All right, look, I still remember this only because a couple of the at the time, a couple of the Arizona Coyote bloggers from Five for Howling were at that one particular Glendale City Council meeting that went all night into the morning, and I could remember like all sorts of things going through their heads, and they're like, send food, send this, send that, send us sanity, send us a hockey team with ball. I mean, you name it, and you felt at that point that was one of those things that I sat there and went, you know what? For all the things that the Devils have gone through and all the crazy things that I've seen over the last 40 years, I don't think I've ever seen a franchise go through a sustained period of 25 plus years now, guys? They moved there, 96, 97 season?
90, yep.
Of just pure, sheer idiocy. It's like the clown cars got lost going down a hill at 80 miles per hour and can't stop.
I don't get, other than that little run in the late 2000s, like
2012. Ironically, they got to the conference finals and lost to LA.
And Mike Smith
played them in the final, Jim. We would have won.
We won in 4 games.
No, you know what would have happened?
No, Mike Smith was really good that year.
No. Here's what would have happened. Mark Fane would have hit 4 posts instead of 1.
That's true. But outside of 96, 97, 98, and that run, the Coyotes been a joke. But Chris, I want to ask you this. You were on the run with Montreal last year.
Yeah, it was something. Wow.
It was something crazy. And I wrote about like how, to me, that run and the bubble run was kind of a fluke for them because of price, because it covered up a lot of the problems that they had in the regular season, and they came to fruition this year. Defensively, goal scoring was a problem, but outside of price, that got them past the Penguins in the bubble and almost beat Philadelphia, and then they made that run last year. Look, they were a game away from being eliminated.
But is it a game away when it's against Toronto, though? And I'm saying this as a Toronto fan. Is this a game away when it's against Toronto? Because with Toronto, you always expect.
They were on the ropes. Do you see how they lost game 4?
Yeah.
I mean, every Montreal media member just sat there and they put their computers down and they just walked away from the laptop and said, this thing's over. And then sort of like the part where Airplane 2 where William Shatner's sitting in there in the moon base and he starts turning everything back on before like the Mayflower crashes through it. I mean, basically all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait, it's working. Look, who is your greatest penalty killer? What position is your great
goaltender?
Right. Carey Price had a once-in-a-lifetime run spearheading a team that had a 93% penalty kill through the playoffs. And this was a team that was around 75, 76% all year. There are few teams that have done this. I may know one.
I think I know one too.
Devils.
Yeah,
2
Devils
years in a
did it.
row.
Yeah, they
years in
did.
a row, which is crazy. But the last time I saw a team that had a plus 15% or greater difference between their penalty kill in the regular season and the postseason. Bubble be damned. Luck be damned. They literally sandbagged themselves the second they were eliminated.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Okay, enough Montreal. I'm depressed enough. Let's move on to a team that's on fire, both figuratively and literally, and it's the Calgary Flames.
Woo!
And we talked.
I
Go
will
on,
get
Chris.
you to find this song. I will get you to find Red Hot Flames and play it once and see how far you can get through it.
Maybe we'll close the show with it.
It's an old 80s song with like Lanny McDonald sing. Yes, it's like really just something.
We talked about last week. Is this a team that, all right, do they get, even though they're likely a playoff team, do they get, and they've been playing well, do they get rid of a player like Tkachuk or Gaudreau and get what they can? Not after yesterday. Not after yesterday. They know they have Tkachuk as an RFA. They know they can likely keep. They probably can keep Gaudreau. To be honest, if there's the two, I think Gaudreau they could convince to stay. But bringing in Tyler Toffoli shows they believe they can not only make the playoffs, but they can win the division. This is a team, the way they've played, they're winners of their last 6, 8-2 in their last 10. They've played really well at home. They haven't had as many home games on the road. That's going to be changing, and they do really well at home. They have a better goal. They've played 3 less games than Las Vegas. They have a near 30. They have a 25 goal differential bump over Vegas. They are playing. Markstrom has played ridiculous this season for them. And this is a team that making the trade for Toffoli tells me they think they have a deep run in them. Am I wrong in thinking that's probably how they feel?
That is not wrong, because
they have a shot.
They legit have a shot, and on points percentage, they are first in the division. FYI.
Yeah. Yep.
Based on points percentage,
yeah,
they
1
are
point
number
back.
1.
Yep, 1 point back, 3 games in hand. So yeah, points percentage 644 to 615.
This is a good team. Look, they didn't do their job last year, because the Calgary Flames, let's all be honest, probably should have made the playoffs last year.
Yeah, and you look point percentage wise, just to piggyback off that real quick, they're 3rd in the West.
Right. This is a good team. Daryl Sutter has this team playing the way Daryl Sutter has his teams played in the past.
They're playing not as LA-like, but pretty close to LA Stanley Cup-like.
Lucic is especially playing LA-like. The way
to be fair, Lucic, you put on those LA teams, LA, instead of winning every other year for those couple years, are probably winning 3 in a row.
Absolutely, 100%.
Prime Lucic in that system with Kopitar and Dustin Brown prime, and it's not surprising that all of a sudden Lucic has refound the fountain of youth with the coach that coaches the style Lucic plays.
Right, but it's just not that too. Like offensively, they're getting scoring everywhere, but they needed more scoring, because all of a sudden Andrew Mangiapane decides to score at home, not on the road anymore.
Who knew? He's ruining my plan.
I know, Chris, that was the plan, to just score on the road the whole time. But look, Toffoli gives them depth in their top 6 now, and they could slide him into a 3rd line role too. Like they can place him anywhere in any part of that lineup right now. And is it protection for potentially Gaudreau leaving? Maybe, but this team has excelled defensively without Mark Giordano, and that's the even crazier part about it.
Is it though? I don't really feel losing Giordano at this stage was as big of a hit as a lot of people thought it might be, or expected it to be, I should say.
Yeah, I think it was expected that it would be a drop, but this defensive team, I think, like I said, the offseason with Sutter has given this Flames team just a different look.
I don't think people expected Oliver Kylington to step into a top 4 role as seamlessly as he did. And
No,
believe me,
not at all.
Daryl Sutter and the coaching staff really pumped the brakes on him giving him that role. I mean, they really paused and hemmed and hawed about this for a good while. It wasn't like they just said at the beginning of the year, okay, we're giving this to you. They basically just did over the last 15, 20 games or so. And look, he's taken off. I mean, I'll argue he's a better defenseman in Alberta than that Darnell Nurse character who's related to a certain Philadelphia choke artist in another sport.
McNabb.
But that's something you're talking about, a defenseman who kind of came into his own. I don't feel that Oliver Kylington has gotten as much love or appreciation for he's as big a reason as any for Calgary's success. The kid's 24 years old, never averaged more than 14 for a full. He had 7, I'm not counting the one game he played in 16 because he had 18 minutes.
No.
In his 4 seasons in the NHL, last year he just played in 8 games, averaged 13 minutes, but he rarely averaged over 13. This year he's averaging just under 19, 24 points in 44 games, career highs in goals, career highs in assists, plus minus of plus 25. And I get plus minus is that weird thing to not kind of like QB wins, but when it's that high, that's when you go, wait a minute.
Right.
Even strength, he dominates.
He just started to see more of an increased power play role, and he has 2 points in his last 5 games in the power play. So,
yeah,
I mean, it's here, it's basically here we go. I mean, if we can get Edmonton to do the same thing with Evan Bouchard on a consistent basis, we're gonna have some nice little young fantasy defensemen to play with.
Exactly. The one gripe about his game is he does turn the puck over quite a bit, but he makes up for that because when he turns the puck over, the first thing you do is he doesn't attack the puck where he turned over. He gets into position to stop a scoring chance.
That's great.
Whereas a lot of defensemen, you'll watch and they'll turn the puck over and then they feel like they'll chase because they feel like they got to make up for it. No, if he turns the puck over, he realizes I screwed up, but I'm going to make sure they don't get something out of this. And he gets, for so young and finally being given the reins of being like a top 4 defenseman in this league, top pairing. He is a guy that he gets right into position. He leads the team in block shots right now with 44. So he's not afraid to get down in the way, but he also knows how to take away the passing lanes. And he's just so enjoyable to watch. Like, he alone to me makes up that loss of a Giordano. I'm not saying he's at that level of what Giordano became yet, but he's already showing he's that next stalwart face defenseman that the Flames kind of always have one of. Every era. They always seem to have one that you're just like, that's
one
the
guy. Yeah, that's the guy. Absolutely. I mean, think about it though. This Flames team is a legit chance to win a Stanley Cup this year. The way they are built and the way they are playing. Not to mention, let's see what happens in the playoffs because these guys usually go away. Then I don't think Tkachuk will, but I don't think Gaudreau will this year either because the way they've played and they protected him. But Johnny Gaudreau has to be mentioned for the fact that he's helped this Flames team turn it around because nobody really expected these kind of numbers this year from Gaudreau going to a free agent year, considering what they had seen over the last couple seasons from him.
Okay, real quick, bit Matthew Jarvis, bit of correction from the Montreal.
Told you it's protected.
I know it's protected, you bastard, but I didn't know it was this protected.
Yes, Montreal's top 10 protected. I wasn't kidding.
Yes, but so basically Arizona will either get Montreal's or Carolina's first. So whatever's the worst. So there we go. I'm not giving you credit for anything. Thank you, Matthew.
Give Chris credit
for it.
Damn it, do it.
No, Chris doesn't give credit because
it's all right.
He doesn't. He refuses to accept the fact that Chris Kreider is going to get 50 goals and Gerard Gallant's going to win Jack Adams after he hits 50.
All right, wait a minute. Wait. Back the truck up. Hold on a minute. Time out.
Got to remember, hey, before you say anything, I have the mute button.
I know you have the mute button.
Wait.
All right, Chris Carter is not scoring 50 goals.
Time out. Hold up. Wait a minute. Chris, I want to know what the odds are for Coach of the Year as it is right now, because I have a certain someone from Pittsburgh leading the way on my board for Coach of the Year.
Oh, Jack Adams, SBD.
I don't care about right now. I care about end of the season. Screw right now.
I think Mike
No, this
Sullivan,
is important because usually, all right.
All right, hold on. While you're looking up the odds, I want to fill everybody in on Taco Tuesday watch. With Philip Forsberg, no goals yet. End of the first period, no goals yet. But if there is a Taco Tuesday, twitter.com/fullpressNHL, we will announce it. I have determined to make this a thing for the rest of his career as long as we have a show.
Absolutely.
This is going to be a thing because it just seems to always happen, and it's one of the more fun things to talk about. All right, do you have the odds in front of you?
All right, hold on 1 second here because it's kind of flipping around here a little bit.
Oh,
all right.
Yeah, it's flipping to Gerard Gallant. Also, you know what? Before we get to U.S. Canada, there was a lot I wanted to talk about, and it's really tough for me to throw in like positive Sabres news, but I'm going to. Alex Tuck.
It's on fire.
He just scored again.
This guy's a beast.
He's got 18 points now in 15 games. I'm sorry, 19 points in 15 games now with the Sabres. The guy has already, him and Krebs have this chemistry. Him, Krebs, and Skinner, the chemistry they have is already like, there's your top line. There's your top line starting next year where you actually have hope with Owen Power and Dahlin manning the top pair. Like, it is you're already in much better shape just with that. 2, Ralph Kruger. Okay. My despisal for Dave Haxtell will never surpass Ralph Kruger, who thought Jeff Skinner was taxi squad at best.
It is true.
It is.
My God. Granted, okay, 4 goals in one game, 5 points against the other day against Ottawa, or Montreal. Yes, a great game, boost stats, but still, he has looked fast. He's looked explosive. He's looked like he's enjoying himself. Playing with Krebs and Tuck really does help.
It helps. I mean, it does help.
But man, Ralph Kruger, Dave Haxtell is only here though. Like he could easily get to Kruger level. So on the Kruger scale, he's just above.
On the Kruger scale.
And
you know what? This could catch on.
And Tage Thompson, Braden Holsek mentioned too. Tage Thompson continues his career season with another goal tonight. Yep.
Well, and it makes it doesn't make the pain of the Ryan O'Reilly trade go away, but it helps the fact that now that Tage Thompson's coming into his own as he was a part of the deal, that kind of sees like, okay, here's the future of the Sabres now. We're getting something here. Now let's just get a goaltender, because I think, look, Buffalo still has a long way to go. Let's not sugarcoat this thing.
Yeah, they're at least a couple years, 2 seasons at least.
But they have foundational pieces now that they didn't have. Well,
more than just one.
Yeah.
Whereas when they brought in Eichel, it was supposed to be the savior of the franchise. Same with Ottawa or Edmonton with McDavid. They had no one else around because the GM in place couldn't draft except the first round, and it's kind of hard to screw up when you draft Sam Reinhart and Jack Eichel.
Right.
So his only other find was Victor Olofsson.
True.
But it's one of those.
Besides the guy that's in Pittsburgh right now.
Yeah, Evan Rodriguez. Let's not even talk about that.
Yeah.
But okay. Before we move on to the Olympics to close the show, what are these coaching odds?
Okay, you're not going to like this, Mike.
Oh, I'm going to say it's rigged and it's fake news and it's probably some overseas book that doesn't know anything.
To be honest, I don't like it either because I can't believe who is a co-favorite right now.
Jim Trotz. Barry Trotz. Yeah, I got it.
No, he's far on down now. He's way on down.
All right.
To allude to Jim's point, though, a certain guy from Pittsburgh still has some considerable value at plus 1,400 right now.
Yo, give me that. Give me that action. Mike Sullivan, Coach of the Year, definitely.
14-1 is a good number right now.
Absolutely, great really number. Is. Great number.
Okay, now topping the list are 2 teams that actually play this week. or later in the week. The Carolina Nashville game is later this week. Rob Brindamore and John Hines are both at 6-1 right now, according to Vegas Insider.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Now,
I'm not a fan, no.
wait. Now we're not done yet. No. John Cooper is at 7-1.
No, at this point, no one from Tampa should win any awards because you know how good they are.
And no, I would never discount this. Yes, Gerard Gallant, his odds have shortened to 9-1.
And they're just going to keep going, man. Just wait.
I don't know.
I'm going to speak this into existence. I'm speaking this into existence.
It's close. All right, let's put it this way. He gets the Vegas, but I think that's it.
That's better than, I mean, at the end of the day, that's high. Like, if he's there, that's higher than anybody going into the season thought he'd be.
I think Mike Sullivan joins him there, too.
I'm not going to disagree about Sullivan being there. Like, holy hell. He went from, is this the end of the Sullivan era in Pittsburgh to, piss off, I'm going to be here the next decade, boys.
Like, isn't it weird that, like, Sullivan tends to do this on an almost, not a yearly
It's amazing
basis,
what great coaches figure out.
Yearly?
It's amazing.
It's like the adjustments.
Yeah, it's like he's a great coach who knows how to make changes when needed rather than get stuck in his own old school ways and like never changes because it's just going to fix himself. He is one of the few coaches. Yeah, they're two of the few coaches in the league that will admit when something isn't working and they don't wait until the last possible second and things are falling off to change it. They make the change before it gets to that point. And then when things rebound, everybody's shocked. It's like, no, they've done it before. Like last year, there were times during the season no one thought Tampa was going to win the cup. They had some rough patches, and John Cooper's like, all right, let's mix the lines up a bit. When Pittsburgh won back-to-back, granted this was 5-6 years ago almost at this point, but when they went back-to-back, they didn't look that great before the run to the when they beat San Jose. And then when they beat Nashville, in that series, they didn't look that great. They had to make changes. And rather than it getting to the point, it's like, oh, well, now we're in a must-win situation. He did it before it got to that point in that series, and boom, look at him. They win in 6.
But just look at him this year, like what he did. No Crosby, no Malkin to start the year.
That's incredible.
Like and then they go on that 10-game run and they just catapult, and now they're sitting in first place. Like,
yeah,
it's pretty crazy to think what they did in Pittsburgh. Like, it's crazy. I mean, but look, to me, I personally think he's going to be there.
Crazier things are twofold. One, Mike Sullivan has never won Coach of the Year. He's been nominated a few times. He's gotten to Vegas a couple times. He's never won it. Remember, Brindamore won it last year.
He's not going back to back.
Wait for this. This is a Mike Straw special, just for Mike. Guess who is dead last in the Jack Adams?
Dave Haxtell.
Right now.
Dave Haxtell
at 750 to 1.
Yeah, I still wouldn't even. I don't care how big of a homer you are. You still don't do that. Anyway, we're gonna move on. Rather than rank the Canadian franchises, I think we'll do that next week because we are getting short on time. U.S. Canada again. Woo-hoo! Wednesday night, gold medal, women's hockey, and we'll talk about the men's in a minute. We knew this was going to come down to it. Everybody knew. Does the U.S. repeat?
No.
Oh, this is rough. This kills me. All right, so right now, using the U.S. Canada World Cup aggregate scoring, we are tied at 6. See, because, well, of course, the women lost 4-2 and the men won 4-2. Using this crazy wackadoodle theory I have, you know what? The U.S. women are winning in a shootout to win the gold.
Yeah, I hate the fact that they have to play a shootout for a gold medal.
I hate it too, but you know what?
I hate it. I really hate it.
Do, and we got this. Now, here's the thing. Canada has shot its load in this. They are scoring goals at a mind-boggling, ridiculous rate. You know who isn't scoring goals at a mind-boggling, ridiculous rate?
Team USA.
That would be the U.S.
Yep.
Who has had the worst puck luck I have ever seen a team have.
That's where I'm sitting. It's bound to happen. And there's no better time than Wednesday.
I mean, this is just it's one of those things. Look, I'll be honest with you. You know who the better team is? And
it's Canada.
It's Canada. 100% Canada.
U.S. wasn't the better team overall 4 years ago.
4 years ago? No, they weren't.
They just got it done.
And the year they lost to Canada in Canada in 2010, they were the better team.
Yes,
and lost.
And that's why to me,
that's why sports is sports.
That's why sports is sports. But that's why when it comes to U.S. Canada, you never look at they're the better team. That shit doesn't matter when these two when these two countries go head to head.
Throw everything out the window.
It doesn't matter at all.
I mean, eye test alone, the Canadians are the better team. I mean, just their game style is more of like an NHL type game style. And you could clearly see in the first matchup that the Americans had problem keeping up with their foot speed. No doubt. I mean, I just think Canada was the favorite to come in despite the Americans being the defending gold medalist. Just what had happened at the Worlds and through those exhibition games that they played, the rivalry series. Canada just seems to be a better team right now, and they're out for revenge. They really are. I don't know what, in this winning thing, they want to win the gold medal again. Both teams do. It's just
100%.
Canada looks better against the weaker teams and getting the job done. Team USA has struggled. Like, granted, Finland is a good team and they should be in the set. They should have been there. But like the Czech Republic, granted, the puck luck was not the greatest and the goaltender stood on their head. But still, I mean, that's a game you should have dominated. Like, dominated.
True. I mean,
score-wise.
But to be fair, Jim, she stood on her head, moonwalked, did somersaults. I mean, it was just like, huh? It's like, but to be honest, she had done that the entire tournament too.
Right.
And I think we just, and that's the other thing too, where everybody starts really fast, starts bringing up this, U.S., Canada, and then it's like just, no, it's not anymore. Here comes the rest of the world, whether you want to admit it or not, and get over it. Because in 4 years, I'll tell you this right now, mark my words, one of U.S. or Canada will not make the gold medal game.
Well, I mean, we almost saw a changing of the guard at the 2019 World Women's Championship, where Finland probably should have won the gold medal. Yeah, should have, exactly.
100%.
But they didn't.
Well, technicality.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda, doesn't matter.
But I agree with that. I think it's gonna be different. But I think for me, as much as I would love to see Team USA repeat, I just think Canada is gonna find a way to get it done, and Marie-Philippe Poulin is just gonna do what she does in those games against Team USA.
Well, we'll have to wait and see tomorrow night. Next week we'll be recapping that game. Another tournament that is heading towards quarterfinal action. The men's side, United States has looked 10 times better than any. I don't think the three of us could have thought they'd play as well as they have. Especially the way they handled Canada. Like they went down early 1-0, but then they dominated the rest of that game. Even when it was 3-2, like it never felt like it was in question once they took the lead. And Canada has not looked good.
Mm-mm.
Canada looks like they have the older players who've been there, done that, but are kind of old. Where United States looks like they got the players that are like, no, this is who are just having a blast and just going out and playing loose hockey.
I mean,
and they got Slovakia tonight.
That's what you need in these tournaments.
Yeah. Yeah, and look at earlier today. I mean, that Canada-China game was 2-1 before Jeremy Smith completely obliterated his leg.
Yeah.
That was rough to watch.
That was so bad.
Don't watch, whatever you do, don't watch
go see it. Yeah, don't see it.
Don't even. It was just bad. And then, I was gonna say to Jim at the time, I didn't know if he was awake. Would you go just hammer all the live bets, because you knew that Canada literally was just going to start scoring a bunch of goals? And
I would have hit it. I would have hit in the in-game betting. I would have hit it all. I would have just.
I hit the team. I hit the team over and the spread as fast as I could.
Real quick on Team USA. So I love the resiliency this team shows because no lead is too big for them. Look, they go down early 1-0, but they came right back and scored immediately, and that changed the game against Canada. If Canada goes up 2-0, it's probably the same old story. But these guys, these players, and this is what the rest of the world and the rest of the media who just cover the Olympics don't understand. There are players on Team USA that have beaten players at Team Canada at the World Juniors. This is what it's about. These guys are having fun and they're doing their thing. They beat a very good Germany team that is desperately missing their coach. But Germany hung in there for a while.
Yeah, but Germany didn't even make it.
No, I know. It's a shame.
It's kind of surprising. But
Germany had one of the more lackluster efforts I've seen.
But so I would not be shocked
something Marco Sturm.
If USA wins the gold medal, I would not be shocked.
Yeah, we have 60 seconds. Yeah, Jim, does USA win? Do you think USA, if you were to make a gun to head, make a prediction now, is USA a gold medal team?
Yes, 100%.
Chris?
No.
Who takes it? If not
Russia.
USA,
as much as it hurts, Russia.
Russia doesn't have a team.
Russia's
not allowed.
It's the Russia Olympic Committee.
Hey, we're just going to call it the
And Russia has to deal with that world power Danish team in the quarterfinals because they somehow made it. Good for them.
True.
Good for the Danes, but
take
sorry.
The under.
Definitely take the under. Take the under.
But
for me, Team USA looks like a gold medal contender. Will they get there? Who knows? It's going to be a tough game against Slovakia, but I would not be shocked if they win it. I feel like they can definitely medal.
Yeah. We'll have to find out what happens when we get together next Tuesday for Full Press Hockey Weekly. You can follow Jim at Jim Biringer. You can follow Chris at Chris Wassel DFS. Myself, Mike Straw Media. Guys, it's been a fun night. It's been a fun game. Hockey's a fun game. It's been a fun game. Hockey's a fun game. We had a lot to talk about. Kind of went over. We'll get into it next week for more Full Press Hockey Weekly. Until next time, take care, everyone. Stay safe. We're out.